Although Star is not a household name today, there was a time when really this was one of the leading gun companies in the world, and one of their most innovative products was the Star Firestar.
Not many people know much about Star because they haven't been made in 20 years. At the rate the American gun industry is building handguns, many of the people who own handguns today have bought their first gun long after Star went out of business. But Star was an old company and had a reputation for building high-quality handguns.
Star, the Spanish gun maker, was just a little ahead of its time with guns such as the Firestar, because the company closed in 1997. And 1997 was really on the front wave of interest in concealed carry firearms. The Florida law had passed in 1987, and Star already had this gun dating into the 1980s called the Firestar, and what it was a single-action semi-automatic, laid out like a 1911, but of course, much different lockwork. The Star family of guns are actually, they're not John Moses Browning designs, just copies. The lockwork of a Star, it's a different pistol. You look at a Star Model B, visually similar to a 1911, inside completely different. But what Star was onto was the cutting edge of what would become the concealed carry semi-automatic pistol.
They went really out of their way to make all the controls ergonomic. The safety and the slide latch and the magazine release were finger-shaped, concave and checkered, like finger pads, and very, very user-friendly. Everything was designed to be as ergonomic as possible. In the late 70s, Star wanted to compete in what it believed would be the United States Army's attempt to adopt a 9mm high-capacity magazine pistol. And they produced a big, heavy-duty, 15-shot, semi-automatic and double-action automatic, and it became the Model 28. Well, it was not adopted by the United States military, but it got Star into thinking along the lines of designs that did not owe their existence to the Colt Browning layout. The Firestar represented a reversion to the compact mentality. Star, even though they had gone to the big Model 28 and 30, in the backs of their minds, there was the idea that they wanted to build a small one. And the impetus to build a brand new, start on a clean sheet of paper gun, which became the Firestar, had its genesis really in the Model 28 and 30.
This is a single-action, recoil-operated semi-automatic. The initial guns had steel frames, so they're somewhat heavy guns. But what they had was compactness. They were a fairly thin gun. The most important dimension on a carry gun is how thick it is, and they managed to keep the Star just a little over an inch wide. And the gun, even with neoprene grips, did not print. You could put it into a compact carry holster, and the gun would disappear as it should be as a compact.
It had 4 locking surfaces, 3 locking lugs on the barrel, plus the 4th one on the enlarged rear portion of the barrel over the chamber. The Firestar incorporated a bulbous muzzle, which Star called the AccuLine, which was an acronym for accurate alignment of the barrel with the slide. The Firestar really only had, apart from its absence, some would say that was a disadvantage not to have double action, but the real disadvantage of the gun was it was so heavy. people wondered out loud how such a small gun could weigh so much. Well, it was all steel. Every bit of it was steel. It was strong, it was heavy, and it was a gun that you could shoot it all day long. It was a gun that if you were going to carry it to defend yourself with, you could practice enough to be good with it. You didn't wind up with a sore hand after 15 or 20 rounds.
Star had other financial troubles, and the company was already struggling. And they introduced this Firestar pistol, and the gun press liked it a lot, but the consumers didn't like it yet. And sadly, it wasn't until Star as a company was out of business and its primary importer, Interarms, also out of business, that the Star Firestar became a cult classic. It was on the cutting edge of concealed carry pistols, but at the time, no one knew it, least of all the consumers that could have helped keep Star in business. Even though Star's been out of business for about 20 years, you still come across the Firestar, and I can tell you it is a soft shooting gun. Anyhow, that's all the time that we have for this week. If you like this show and you're not an NRA member, you need to join right now. Go to AmericanRifleman.org. I'm Mark Keefe, and I'll see you next week right here on American Rifleman Television.